What the latest is on this terror attack. Sherwin, what do we know now?
Peter, I think the most important thing to highlight is the fact that the suspect, the perpetrator in this attack, is alive. He underwent surgery overnight at the Bellevue Hospital here in Manhattan. He was shot, taken down by a police officer, shot in the abdomen, underwent emergency surgery last night, and has been talking to investigators who are at his bedside at this time. We understand from some of the leaks of those conversations that he's very proud of what he accomplished yesterday, killing 8 people, 6 of those people foreigners, 5 Argentinians, 1 Belgian. Very proud of his affiliation to ISIS. Of course, law enforcement telling us that they found a note near the scene of that attack on the West Side Highway of Manhattan, where he pledged his allegiance to ISIS. Quote, ISIS will endure forever. The police a short time ago, including the governor of the state of New York, Andrew Cuomo, and the mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, appealing directly to citizens to share whatever information they have, having witnessed, perhaps eyewitness accounts, video footage of the attack when it was underway yesterday afternoon, any eyewitness accounts, any still photography. So really trying now, I think, the focus essentially is, Peter, to try to piece together why this man acted in the manner. This is an Uzbek immigrant into the United States, came here legally via the diversity visa lottery program of the United States, essentially what is known more colloquially as the green card lottery, came here legally in March of 2010. And so the process that the police is now undertaking is to find out at what point he became radicalized. We heard from Andrew Cuomo, the governor of the state, saying that probably happened while he was in the United States. And predictably, Peter, the focus, the discussion politically is quickly turning to immigration and border control.
You know, this time a year ago, I was in New York, and you switch on the TV and you know, crime, someone's fallen off a building or something. But more and more, these kinds of stories are coming through. And I'm just wondering, what's that doing to the psyche of people in New York? Are you sensing a shift, a raising of fear levels?
Well, let's not forget that New York was the scene when all this, you can argue that when all this began in 2001, the attacks on the World Trade Center, this attack incidentally happening literally about half a kilometer from the World Trade Center Memorial. New Yorkers are a very resilient bunch. I will say that, having lived here for some time now, they bounce right back, Peter. I mean, last night is evidence of that. Yesterday was Halloween. New York has an annual Halloween parade, and there were about 1 million people on the streets last night, soon after this attack. Yes, there was a strong police presence, but there's a strong police presence everywhere you go in New York City, whether there's an attack or not. And that has been the response and the posture since 2011 and those fateful attacks when almost 3,000 people died here. New Yorkers get back on the train. They get back on the horse immediately. But that is not to speak about the tragedy that have befallen some families, as we mentioned, not local families, but international families. 5 citizens of Argentina and 1 Belgian. Those 5 citizens of Argentina were here. They were celebrating the 30th anniversary of their graduation from high school and just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So in terms of the psyche in New York, I don't think this is particularly a problem for New Yorkers. New Yorkers, for example, if this was a question about the broader gun debate in the United States, first of all, he didn't use a gun here, he used a vehicle. And New York City has very, very stringent gun enforcement laws. So that isn't the conversation here. What we can talk about is how terrorists, these lone wolf attacks, they are taking this from the playbook of ISIS online. And we've seen similar attacks in Nice, in France. We've seen similar attacks where vehicles are used in London, in Germany. So that's what the conversation now needs to focus on. This is not a unique situation only to the United States, but this is now a global phenomenon that we are seeing in European capitals and certainly in American capitals now as well.
All right, Sherwin, that's where we're going to leave it for the time being. But there, an update from Sherwin Bryce-Pease, all the way from New York, that this gunman is come out of surgery and has been able to talk to investigators, and he's proudly boasting about what he did in killing those 8 people and wounding 11 others.